Hello, I know that you noticed the new background. I wanted to share what happened in my astral the other day, and it is insane. And I don't know if anyone has ever seen anything like this in their astral, in their dreams, anything. If you did, let me know. But I kind of want to tell you and show you a few photos. So, I did, I had some herbs around me, and I was astraling the other day, and kind of, just sinking down into that. Kind of felt like a dream. I literally went to this place, and I didn't know what this place was. And apparently there are cave cities in Rome, Italy, Greece, and all of these places. And I believe I was either in Greece, Italy, I'm not sure. And I was being guided into this cave by this woman. And this woman looked a lot like Hecate. And also, if you didn't know, that caves and things are associated with Hecate. And before I entered the cave, I was walking along right here, and I was looking up to this building, which is a cave city, and I'll show you a few other cave cities. And when I was looking up at it, I was just kind of mesmerizing. I'm like, wow, it's so pretty, it's so cool. And then when I entered the cave, it was full of crystals, streams, creatures, different types of creatures I've never seen before. It almost kind of reminded me of Stranger Things creatures, a few of them, but it wasn't. And this woman had black hair. She had it up in a bun, and I believe it was Hecate. And she also was carrying something with her, and she was taking me on a tour of this place. And this place had like creatures, like I said, rivers, streams, and there was different levels to this city, but it was also underground of this place. So you see how this just looks like houses? The place of it was underground, and I'll show you another place. I was also guided to, this was kind of like by it, and I went in one of these little holes in the cave, which is kind of underground. And I know this looks different from the previous photo, but this is kind of like, it was kind of two places at once. And I was walking along here as well, and I entered, like I said, and there was a woman guiding me. And there was different levels of this cave city, and I had to stop at one certain level because she told me that I wasn't ready to go to the next level, that I needed to stay in the present. And I feel like it is associated with transition and just staying in the present to be able to move forward. And also, cave cities are associated with the underworld, and Hecate is also associated with caves. And I didn't know why I was being guided throughout this cave. I still kind of don't know. I just think it was kind of let's say, some meaning behind it of why I'm going in this cave. And it was really cool because I was going in so many levels of this cave. There was like tons and tons of levels of this cave. And Hecate, or the lady, she literally looked like Hecate. She had like black hair. It was up in a bun. I hope this is making sense, because it's hard for me to even remember my astrals. So this is what I remember of it. But she had a bun up in her hair, and she was leading me, and she stopped at a level, and she's like, we're not ready to enter this level yet. And then the astral ended. So I don't know if anyone has ever seen these cities in their astral, in their dreams, or anything. If you have, let me know, and let me know your experience, because it was so intense. The energy was so intense from the travel that I had to literally ground myself and disconnect from this place like 3 times, because they did not want me to leave. And the creatures that I was seeing kind of they had like all kinds of different arms. They weren't mean, but they were just different. It was different from being on Earth, obviously, but it was underworld creatures. And there was also other people there that were not looking exactly like humans. They were a little different. I don't know if they were humans. I think they were also creatures, and they were there too. And I was just being guided throughout this cave city by Hecate, and she was just guiding me to different areas. I feel like some of these areas could have been, places I've been in a past life. I feel like also I could have lived in a cave city, either Rome or Greece, in a past life. But this was more like an underworld cave city, and it was guiding me to the underworld. So it was really, really neat, and I kind of wanted to share that experience. And I hope that you can let me know if you have ever astraled here, because it is amazing. Look how pretty it is. Like, I was walking along something like this, and then before I got to the other part, I was around here. So the other cave could have been behind it or something, or around the building, but I was walking along here. And yeah, I wanted to share that. And if anyone has ever experienced any astral or dreams like this, let me know, because this was very intense. It took me several times to disconnect from this place. And I wanted to share that. And I think it's so amazing that when you're spiritual and you're aligned, what experiences you have and what you can see in the astral, as well as your dreams. I've never really astraled like this before. Since I've gotten, better astraling and lucid dreaming and things, I've really experienced, but this is like the biggest experience I've had, and it felt so real. Like, it felt like I was from there. So I think I'm going to wind up doing a past life regression and see if I'm right. But even if it's not somewhere that I lived, Hecate was leading me through this cave and guiding me to somewhere, as she always does. And I hope that you enjoyed that. I wanted to share it with my friends on here, and have a blessed day.